yeah, here we go again. And I sound like CJ and San Andreas. Y'all remember the movie South Central? Came out in about 1992. Y'all may or may not have been alive. Your boy Sin, he was. You know I'm primordial. I actually was born the day before the Declaration of Independence was signed. I was the serving tea in the house. You know your boy Sin light skin, but that's besides the point. Yo, did Sin just hit us with a slave joke in March? A month after Black History Month? You're damn right, but that doesn't matter. We're here to talk about South Central. So get some snacks, strap in, no condom, and get ready to remember. This is how I remember South Central. All right, our story starts out with OG Bobby Johnson. Now, he's not technically an OG yet, but I don't know what type of bid he was on, but he's out. And all of his homies is here to pick him up. Now, you see my man Bobby, he's a co-founder of the Deuce gang. Now, I ain't gonna lie, I don't know what type of name is Deuce, but I do like the signs that they be throwing up. I mean, bro be putting the peace sign on his chest, like a hippie shirt. Oh, that was bars. Anyways, bro hop in the car, and right before they're about to pull off, this cop comes over. And I ain't gonna lie to you, I hate 12. So when my man Bobby sprayed this cop with his beard, I knew that he was a real. Yo, editor, hit the slow-mo on this beard spray? God damn. Bro put a whole 40 on this. Anyways, they on their way back to their hood. This is Ray Ray, the other co-founder of the Deuce gang. This guy in the back, yeah, the crazy looking one. The one that look like he off a vial of fentanyl. At some point in this movie, he's gonna become a drug addict. I'm not gonna tell you when, but just be prepared for it. Because he does one of the funniest things I've ever seen in this movie. He kind of reminded me of Timmy from South Park. You know, Timmy! That doesn't make any sense to you right now, but it will very soon. This really big dark-skinned dude over here, I'ma keep it 1,000. That's Mark Henry. I do not know this name. Anyways, Ray Ray tells Bobby how he's been waiting on him so they can have a meeting with the gang members. They ask him about his son, but Bobby tells him that he doesn't even know his name. Apparently, when he was locked up doing his bid, his shorty was outside throwing that ass. Wasn't holding him down at all. It wasn't no Young Thug and Mariah the Scientist situation. And it definitely wasn't no Remy Ma and Papoose. I mean, you see how they situation ended up though. Remy Ma out here dating Papoose, but with buck teeth and no swag. Dang, the easy to block Captain Slug and the big 2025? Hey, that. Anyways, basically, my man OG Bobby Johnson, his shorty was out getting some Johnson. Real. So they start laughing at bro. He gets mad about it. Obviously, they're just playing, but he's being serious. He doesn't know anything about his son, and that kind of sucks. So they back at the crib, they cracking jokes and all that, and here enters Carol. Carol is Bobby's baby mom, the mom of the other main character of this story, Jimmy. Now right now, Jimmy's a low ass baby, but soon he gonna be a grown ass man that's 10 years old. This out here acting all happy cause Bobby out, but ain't call him, text him, ain't even send him no letters. God damn, that's how you gonna do, my mans? You couldn't even hit him with the Kim Possible? The call me, beat me if you wanna reach me? That's her ass fat though, I ain't gonna lie. God damn. Oh nah. Who the hell is this dude walking down the steps? I'll tell you, this is Jeannie. Now, Jeannie's a very important character for the beginning of this story. He's the neighborhood dope dealer. He got his smack everywhere. He got the scrambled coke smack. I ain't gonna lie, and he's not cutting that with Fent. That's straight uncut, pure hair raw. Ray Ray get the arguing with Jeannie because he doesn't like the fact that he's making money in his hood, especially that he's got this heroin in his hood either. He ends up talking to him, telling him how they ran him out of Grape Street. They end up getting mad at Jeannie and run up on him with big ass Mark Henry in the back, but this other big ass Mark Henry looking in the back pulled a strap out on him. Damn. So you just gonna pull the strap out on my guys? Like, that's crazy. Hold on. Who the does this dude think he is? Bro was macking on my man Bobby Shorty. He got a big ass Mark Henry looking dude with him. They got the strap out like a night at Ellen DeGeneres crib. And now my man Ray Ray having to tell this dude to watch his shorty because they trying to pimp her out. So Bobby's mad at this point. He go in the crib and they get to arguing about why she was in Jeannie crib. He talking about Jeannie was just being nice to her, giving her free cigarettes. Bobby had a good point. He tells her that that's not being nice. And if you think about it, it ain't. I mean, I don't want my shorty just going to some random ass dope dealer getting money and free stuff. Cause I ain't gonna hold you as a woman. Free stuff don't come for free. Shorty, you about to get some of that ass if you want to get some of that stash. Real. But Bobby ends up asking Carol why she never visited and why he doesn't know his kid. And she ends up snapping on him, talking about how he left her alone and how she had the baby by herself. Now at this point, she put the baby in his hands. He gets real acquainted with the baby and they end up making up, talking about how they love each other and everything. You know how that goes. Now we're at the meeting of the Deuces. They end up talking about how they about to be multiplying and how they would lay claim to territory. Ray Ray talks about how him and Bobby have dads in jail that were on some wild ass shit and watched during the LA riots. He then goes on to tell them that they need to divide and conquer and that they gotta respect each other in their own territories. This meeting is not super important for the plot, but I mean, it basically explains how they plan on branching out and taking over. Something that Ray Ray does do during a very pivotal time in this story. But then again, I'm not there yet either. Let's go to this party. So they walk up in Genie's crib. Well, it's not really his crib, but I guess it's like, honestly, I don't know really like what this is supposed to be. Like, I guess it's a warehouse or something. This looks like something my man Rob Dyrdek would have had his show in. You remember he had that big ass warehouse and they used to do stuff in it? Man, here this Genie go. Bro comes down and asks him if they got ID. And Ray Ray replied with,
do you have a license for that gambling club out back?
Now, obviously, when my man Ray Ray asked this, Genie ain't want no smoke. He like, man, f that. Enjoy the drinks, they on me. Bobby is not obliging with none of this and tells him how he and his gang will buy his own drinks. Chump. Dang, you gonna call him a chump in his own place? That's crazy. So my man Genie responds and says, whatever, little Bobby. I ain't letting no grown man call me little Bobby. That's just me. I'm just saying. Then they got a little bro with him while they dancing. Yo, hold up, does he got this baby? Did he just make the baby put the deuce on his chest? And he put a bandana on him. Oh, he's wildin'. Now after this, they send the shorties home. Bro telling Bobby how he doesn't need him going soft on him and ask him if he's still deuce. And obviously Bobby says yes. This is the first time in the movie you're gonna see this kind of conflicting view inside of Bobby's head. Where yeah, he's deuce, but he also knows he has a kid. Now, I wish that my man would have made better decisions, especially before it was too late. I mean, you know you a street dude at heart. I understand that. But having a kid, it can change things. And being a present father in a kid's life, especially as a black man, is super important. Something that this movie harks on a lot. Probably the most pivotal point that this story makes is just how impactful a present father is. Specifically in the black household, but just in general. Now after this, you probably thinking everything's sweet. My man Bobby goes home, tells his homies bye, he's got his kid with him, and Genie's here. So Genie shows up and he makes him go in the apartment they in. This man Genie made him do dope while he had his baby with him. Like literally made him finish the whole line. So this dude is doped out, baby crying. He eventually wakes up and he goes home. Now Bobby is pissed, bro. He wants blood. He's out for blood. You know what time it is. Literally, it's actually 6:18 in the morning. That's what time it is right now. All right, I need to take my ass to bed, but that's besides the point. What's really important is that they go and they crash into this nigga's warehouse and they end up killing both Genie and Mark Henry. Damn, I needed Mark Henry to wrestle. That's tragic. All right, I'm just joking. They didn't kill my man Mark Henry, bro, but they did kill this big ass dude that I keep calling Mark Henry. I'm just saying. So after they go in, they smoke the big guy. They walk up to Genie and Ray Ray says, play the clip of him saying, you remember Bobby, right? And I'm not gonna lie, they literally put potatoes on the barrel. Now I'm not gonna hold you. These out here trying to make hash browns with these joints. For those of y'all that have, you know, no experience being in the streets, putting the potato on the barrel is kind of like putting a silencer on the gun. It helps to muffle the noise. However, it's really not super effective. Just go get a regular silencer. It's not that deep. Obviously, don't shoot people, but if you're going to, be smart about it. Anyways, he walked down on this and popped him. And because of that, he got his mark under his eye. So everybody knows that he smoked somebody. As soon as he goes home, Carol sees it and he tells her, yeah, you know what time it is, shorty, go pack your bags. So they're gonna go on a run. Now they go on a run for a while, but his girl is getting antsy. She ends up leaving and his friends pull up and they got this new car. Mark Henry, Loco, they in this little whip. They convince my mans to go out with him. Yo, real quick, yo, I ain't trying to interrupt the video, man, but I just gotta let y'all know something, man. So I dropped another video on this other channel that y'all been watching, man, and it's on cars. And I know y'all probably thinking like, yo, Sin, you talking about cars? I like cars, man. Lightning McQueen, he fire. And I know y'all want to see some funny stuff like this. I am Speed. Not like the streamer though, because I don't have any fans and I'm broke, but that's besides the point. I'm really, really fast. Kind of like Barry Allen on a rhino pill. So go ahead, hit this eye, you know what I'm saying? After you're done watching this video, go over there and watch that one. All right, let's get back to the video. Now they pull up on this little fine shorty, I ain't gonna lie, but she's an undercover cop. Yeah, they tried to pimp her out and give her drugs. They all got arrested. So they end up going and interrogating them about Deuce and the murder. They asking them about Genie and telling them that they got his fingerprints all over the gun. He knows what time it is. He knows he's about to go down for this shit. So he asked for his kid and they obliged. They went and got his kid and he's just sitting there and they're just trying to get him to snitch, bro, but he's not going to. He ends up telling them how he's got a kid and you're never going to see him walk or hear his first word or take him to his first day of school. Like, yo, he tried everything to get this dude to crack. Pause on that. That was crazy, but nothing worked. And just like that, we hit our first and only time skip in the movie. This kid's older now. Look at him getting all dressed up just so he can go in his mom's room and steal out of her purse while she's in there sleeping with the white guy she just gave her pussy up for the night before for the money that the nigga stole. Damn, that was long-winded. Basically, this stole from his mom and from whoever this guy was. It was only some change and like $1, but still, it is what it is. So Jimmy ends up going to his little homies. They slap box a little bit, but Ray pulls up on him, telling him how he wants to get him on the set and he wants him to steal car parts for him and basically get a bunch of money for that and later sling some dope for him as well. Well, crack, I meant, my bad, not dope. He was selling crack. I don't know if he was selling dope or not. He probably was, though, to be honest. You might as well dabble in both. Now, my man Bobby in prison are working out and he ends up seeing some Aryans picking on Loco. I don't know when Loco got in prison with him, but he is. So he goes up on him and grabs Loco up. The white guys are telling him how Loco owes him 8 boxes of cigarettes, but he pulls an OG call and he saves him. The dudes end up intervening. They're mad about it, bro, but because it's an OG call, they have no choice but to listen to him. But now they owe the Aryans 15 boxes and Loco is funny as remember earlier I told you it reminds me of Timmy? Look how this chuck the deuce up right here. Editor, please play that. Oh my God, I cried when I seen that. So Loco, he's safe now, but he ends up telling Bobby a whole bunch of about how Ray's being selfish and now we got the kids stealing for him, even his own son. That made him very mad. Meanwhile, Jimmy got caught stealing from an army vet while the army vet was in there getting some pussy and bro shot him. Now he's got a bunch of buckshots in his back and he's in the ICU in the hospital. Bobby disses his entire set because of this and he leaves. But Loco literally looks at him in his eye. The person that he just saved literally says to him, he can't be in here alone. He gotta go. And then he throws the deuce up again. Oh man, I ain't gonna hold you. Now all of this is unfolding and these Muslim guys are watching them. Back at home, Jimmy's mom shows up at the hospital. I said home, but I guess that is his new home. This motherfucker lived in the hospital for mad long. But she doesn't want to sit with him and says that he's gonna go to jail just like his dad and granddad. Kind of sad for real. He's a very unfit parent, but it is what it is. Back at the jail, Bobby ends up getting in a fight. Yo, he beats the out of this dude. You see how he kneed him in the face with the tray? Now he ends up going in the hole for a little bit. The Muslim guy gets him and tells him that he wants to recruit him and shit. He ends up, they're in the same cell. So he's asking him about his son's pictures he's putting up and he tells him that his name is Ali. Now my man Jimmy has been healing up, bro, pretty well. It's time for him to actually put some pain in on Hunky Ball. Now I know y'all are probably like, what the f is Hunky Ball? Well, it's this game, bro. Ping pong.
You ping pong paddle body.
Calling ping pong Hunky Ball is crazy. Now he hates it at first, but then he ends up loving it and he even gets nice. He's playing against an adult here and everything. But while my man Jimmy's playing ping pong, the Aryans are grabbing Bobby up and say that they own him now. They beating on him, talking about you, but right before they're about to have sex, had their way with him, the Muslims pop in. The Aryans tell him how Deuces paid for their debt with him by giving them OG Bobby Johnson. Now, Ali's like, I don't break no jailhouse rules, but Bobby's a man, so nobody about to be punking anybody. Do you recognize he's a man? And obviously the Aryan dude's like, yeah. So he's like, all right, cool, nothing's going down. We got a little standstill for a little minute. And then Ali asks him, what do you want? He says, cigarettes. How many cigarettes? Well, 15 bucks plus interest. And I want laundry and shoe signs for the rest of his damn time. That's crazy. So Ali's like, man, nah. That 3 months, bro. Not a minute, not a second more. All right, let's go eat breakfast. Now at this point, they go to eat breakfast and Ali real coming in, saving my mans and all that. Going crazy. But CPS is also going crazy. They come to see Jimmy. Talks about child abuse, your parents hit you, all types of. So he's like, yeah, she beats me. Well, she used to, but she a Sherm head now. Now, for those of y'all that don't know, a Sherm head, they're on drugs, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's just what it is. Sherm is like known for like wet water, dust, all types of shit, bro. But they take cigarettes, they put the little wet on it, they smoke it. Sherm head, you feel me? They ask if she feeds them. He's like, nah, I take care of myself. Do you go to school? Nah, school for squares. You can't make any money there. So Ali, at this point, leaving, my guy for a second. And Ali's talking and saying, that he gonna end up killing Ray. He like, yeah, because he got my kid out there breaking laws. So he goes down this whole rabbit hole about how he had a son and how he was lecturing him. Bobby asked him, you gonna lecture me? He like, yeah, you you gonna listen. He talks about how hard he was on his son and how rough and embarrassed, that he would make his son around people, about how he talked, how he walked, and he was super absent because of his job. And because of that, his son got caught up and got killed. So then he went and killed the 3 men that killed his son and got life in prison. He ends up saying some real about how it's a cycle that they grow up in without daddies and no guidance, and our kids suffer when we go to prison. That's a fact. And then it just keeps happening and happening. We gotta break the cycle, which is something that you definitely gotta do. Breaking cycles, whether it be, metaphorical cycles, whether it be that one bike you found outside, now you mad, you start punching it. Like my man Jin and Street Fighter in that one bonus round. Bro was beating cars up, but you beating the bike up this time. But anyways, my man Ali basically tells him, hey bro, you owe me 15, boxes of cigarettes. I need you to read 2 hours a day to make up for that. Real, I ain't gonna hold you. So CPS show up after this. They end up taking, Jimmy away. Nurse talks to him. He's all healed up, pain gone. She tells him how they're gonna miss him, are real proud of you, how these people are here to help and all types of. So they convince him to go and all that, about how he wants to grow up to be a good man and all this extra. If you trust me, then trust them too. Man, I ain't gonna lie, this man Jimmy just trying to trap. He do not care about these people, bro. But he ends up telling Miss Shelley that he's gonna miss her, and now he goes to his foster home. They end up breaking the rules down about eating, lights out, basically prison, ain't it? Anyways, they go to fuck with him and he throws up the deuce and they're pussy because they didn't do anything. Now Ollie and Bobby are sitting down talking about, stuff that he hasn't learned yet. And, Bobby explains what's going on. He keeps getting rejected for the pill. And Ollie's like, hey man, I got you. Real. Now, in the middle of their conversation, one of the white guys brings some dirty shoes for him to shine, and he's about to snap, but he doesn't. He shines the shoes. He says, tell Buddha it's done. He even got the little mark under his eye covered up, bro. He was going crazy. Now, at this point, bro, elite, man, he know a bunch of shit about MLK, Booker T. Washington, Jesse Jackson. He's getting quizzed by Ali, but, he doing all right. I ain't gonna hold you. He ends up thanking him for helping him, and bro just says, man, repay me by helping another, man. That's real shit. Bless yourself by blessing someone else. I like that mindset. Now, bro goes to his appeal. He ends up getting his parole pretty easy. Now, Ali's like, man, you got a second chance. Don't blow it. Go save your boy. Bro, he goes to leave. He gets Loco his hat and all that. Now, he ends up going home at this point. His girl in there knocked out and he takes her to lay it down, helps her out, even though she's a super bum, but it is what it is. But he was really calm, even though bro was telling him it's nothing he could do. So he let her back to see his son for a little bit anyway. Now he goes in there. He gets to try to talk to Jimmy, but Jimmy not with him. I ain't gonna hold you. He keeps telling him that he's gonna get him out, but he doesn't believe him. He's like, man, I'm gonna get you out of here, bro. CPS. But his dad's been absent his whole life, so again, he has no reason to believe it. But he tells him he wants to spray the guy who shot him. Bobby says, no, I put that behind me. I want you to as well. And Jimmy says, man, you're not my dad. And he ends up leaving. Bobby goes home. He cries with Carol, but she on that. And the next day, the cops show up and say that his son ran away. So he goes looking for him, questions people at the court. They clown on him, calling him a cop. He asks kids, and they end up telling him, but only after he lies about still being a killer soon and how he's gonna ride on Manchester. Willie Manchester's the guy that shot Jimmy, by the way. So they end up telling him where he's at. He goes to, talk to his son, Ray. And Ray questions him about his mark. He's like, man, how you turning on family? He like, man, that's your family, not mine. So Ray explains to him how half of this is yours and we owe him. And bro saying, I don't want it. I just want my son. He says, Jimmy, I'm gonna get you out, bro. Jimmy like, man, no, you not. He's like, I promise it'll just take time. So Ray intervenes. He's like, man, this is not your business. This is Deuce business. Deuce is his daddy and I'm Deuce. I'm like, yo, what the? So he's like, man, let him decide for himself. So he's talking to him about how Ray's a drug dealer and shit. And then he's like, man, we can help you, man. Blah, blah, blah. But that Sherm head Loco. I'm like, damn, it's like that. See, after Bobby got the explaining about what happened to Loco in the pen, that was all she wrote. They ain't really give a about bro. Now they end up, bringing this dude Willie Manchester out. They got him tied up. He begging, saying that he didn't mean to hurt Jimmy. Ray telling him to stop. And they try to get this dude Jimmy to kill him. So bro get the snapping and lecturing him and telling him how when you kill somebody, you can't come back from it. You can beat somebody up, all types of shit. bro. You can forgive and forget even after a fight. But when you kill somebody, you don't get that opportunity. He eventually, convinces Ray Ray to end up letting Jimmy go and let Willie Manchester go by telling him, hey, bro, I don't want half of everything you owe me. I just want my son. He gave up an entire empire for his son, bro, just so he can be a present father. If that's not commendable, I don't know what is. See, this coming of age story and this story about how being a black father and being present is so important is a needed story. I know it came out in 1992, but this is something that everybody needs to watch and just try to be a part of. Be a part of your kid's life, man. It's super important, and it was the most prevalent plot point in this entire movie. South Central came out in 1992, and if you didn't remember it, I know you do now. Thank you.